Welcome, guys, to the excuse me. Welcome, guys, to the stream as the markets are about to open. So we'll just see how things are going. Here we're on the stock market. I'm going to be focusing generally on the stock market, but we have had a few. Obviously, Bitcoin's been open all weekend. Things have been moving on Bitcoin, and yeah, I mean, if you look here on the 1 second charts, we've got some market top patterns here. Sell off very, very nice. Some more here. Looks like there's been a nice little sell-off happening over the last few minutes. A nice, very, very nice little bottom indicators here, building into a few nice bottoms and going through all of these. So building up into the sells, and the market's looking to come off now. So things are looking pretty tidy on that side of things. So let's see how these markets open over the next minute or two. And I think there will be quite a large gap in the market, and you can see here from some of these markets what's happened. A huge gap in the market, so we do discount any sort of indications, certainly from last week, because when a market closes, especially when it's closed for a few days, anything can happen in between. So that's why you never really look to try and take any sort of trades over the weekend. Certainly not if you can help it, anyway. Let's see how these markets move. As you can see, markets have opened significantly down. S&P 500's looking like it's already forming a couple of bottoms just simply on the market open as it's dropped. So we can see here that S&P 500, certainly some buys initially, just simply on the market open immediately as the market opened. Similar thing happening in the Nasdaq as well. A big gap on the market open. I imagine that this is all going to be motivated from the news that over the weekend. I think it was yesterday, if I remember off the top of my head, that there's been a spy balloon been shot down over the US from China. Some dispute of whether or not it is a spy balloon or whatever the case may be, but I think that's what's motivated this volatility over the weekend. I can't really think off the top of my head anything else that's come out. So heightened tensions around US China conflict and tension. So I think that the market will be reacting to that. It's going to be looking into a risk off mood. So you can see that where stock markets have opened lower, as that's a risk asset. Safe haven assets are going to probably open up higher. So if we look at some, for instance, dollar USD, yeah. Dollar yen is going to open up higher. That's a risk off market, so you can see that's what's happened there. Euro opened lower, instantly looking at buys, and obviously there's been some fluctuations in the first few seconds of the market opening there. Generally, what we want to be doing whenever you're looking at a market open situation, you want to let things kind of digest. You want to let things run for a little while, just because you've got investors all digesting news as we currently speak. So this is initial kind of, as the market opens, it's all just about trying to read where things are at and let things settle down just a tad before we kind of move on from there. See what. Interestingly, got gold opening significantly lower as well. I would have thought that would have opened up quite a bit higher. Oil opening up slightly higher, nothing drastic though. I just want to kind of let things settle before we're really looking for any sort of buys or sells in this market. Quite typical, that isn't it? Your news events 9 hours ago, signs of market strength, cheer US stock market bulls. Market then opens up significantly lower. So it just goes to show you kind of news, your main news events, news outlets don't really have a clue what's going on, do they? But interestingly, we are coming right back into this support level. So, we've got this support level just there, just between these two levels. Just on the 1 minute, let's see if we've got anything on the hourly for that to confirm. Well, yeah, certainly got this little level of support, so that could just be drawn. No, they're trying to draw things on like this, so we'll try and use a proper tool. Don't be lazy, use a proper tool. There you go, there's your support level. So that's a broken resistance level, come back, and now we're retesting that as a level of support. So that's quite an interesting level, especially now that we're seeing that both on an hourly basis. Got that here as a 1 hour, where it was previously tested midday, actually on market open for the US time, just around about 2:30. So, and then when you look on the 1 second chart, we're getting the signals for a market bottom around here. So there's a good chance that this market bottom will hold, and you'll actually potentially be looking at a nice opportunity to get buys in there. So we'll see how that progresses. But yeah, let us know in the chat here, who's watching and where you're trading from, what kind of trades you're looking at the moment. Have you been trading Bitcoin over the weekend? Have you been looking at any crypto over the weekend, or have you just been waiting for market open and looking into the traditional markets? Looks like there's been some nice trades on the pound just as the market opens. Some sells hit up here. That people could have taken that initially, and that's already a 39 pip move, just straight from the open. Pound USD as well, some nice buys that have happened straight away. Market open, Bosch, 8 pips, 6 pips, decent scalps, and certainly when you're trading on a minute chart, that's not bad going. How these stock markets coming along. It's the S&P 500. So we're not seeing any sort of market bottom indicators coming through now on the 1 minute. Nothing on the 30-second. It is only on the 1 seconds that we're seeing things come through here. So it's a risky position to start buying. That's certainly to be said. That being said, I think there's some value in that, and the market's kind of reacted off that initial sell, and it's started to stabilize. So we'll look at some really kind of, because we're on a 1 second chart here, we're looking at quite small lot sizes. We're not kind of piling into this move, and certainly with it being the market open as well, there's no reason for us to be looking to try and pile into any sort of trades at the moment. Would be quite interesting. So if this was where the market open was to kind of where the market has bottomed out to now, is there any sort of kind of can we target some of these retracements? Could we get a pullback up into some of this market gap as the market did open here? So could we get 78, 61, getting somewhere between this golden zone? That would be quite a nice little area if we can get, obviously taking a couple of buys now back at this bottom. Can we see that happen? Somewhere around about there would be a pretty lovely target if we could reach that level, but we'll see. So you can see here the Japanese stock market has opened up a little bit with some strength. That's quite a positive sign for us to consider. The oil market continued with its opening strength from its market open. Where are we up to on here? I mean, that's from Friday, looking like a lovely buy. Always recommend against taking those though, because they are. I mean, that's running up 40 pips already, up on oil, looking brilliant. I'm seeing some tops coming in on gold. Interesting. On the 1 second charts, I mean, I'm not too keen on those. I mean, yeah, I'm not too keen on those. I just don't know. I'm looking at conflicts with the 1 second, with the 1 minute. So it looks like there's some sort of bottom figure happening here over the longer term. The market open as well, where you can see it's pretty strong. And, we've seen an initial dip, but massive strength coming on. And yeah, just kind of don't like the look of that. There's Bitcoin been out. Bitcoin's had got an interesting little kind of move over throughout the weekend. Look how it's traded over the weekend. It's had various spikes, but we have fallen off now. Probably about $500 down over the weekend, really. We'll come right back into this level of support around the 22,800, all the way up to 23,200 region. So anywhere between this little level here, it's gathering, well, come right back into that level of support. But still pretty strong, as I say, on the hourly. So I don't think there's too much to be worried about there. Gathering some strength now on the S&P. So still a little bit for a target to get back up to 41.30. Can the market get up there? Be nice. It'd just make a lot of sense with that Fibonacci market bottom indicators coming in. Just all nice little kind of touches like that we look for. Let's take a look through some of these market top patterns that we've had here. Some superb ones that have come in. But all of these market top patterns. Market bottoms, perfect market bottom brought there, and it could have been a huge buy. Lovely tops all on there. This would have been a lovely sell-off, very quick sell-off there within an hour. Big profits. Again, decent sell-off there, quick. Then the major sell-off came where you could have banked it again. Massive profits. Big tops picked out again. Still good opportunities. All of these are nice little profit opportunities. Fantastic tops again brought on this S&P 500 market. Superb. And that's just going back through essentially the last couple of weeks of market action where the S&P has been driving up higher, still been able to pick out all of these opportunities to make significant profits. We're still kind of poking around those same levels. Hi, Casey. So thanks for joining. Great to see you. Great to have you online. Great to have you as a support. Yeah, you see, I was right when I looked at those golds. It didn't look too tasty to begin with, but we're now getting a significant amount of top indicators coming in. So that starts to get a lot more interesting. But you just got to consider, well, what's the right moves. You can take a short position here on gold against some better judgment, but I just like the look of it. It's started to this value up here. You're not asking a lot of the market to get a decent sell off to get a decent profit. You're really not asking a lot at all of the market to come down. Even just there, you're banking decent amounts of profit there. 10, 20 pips on offer. I could see that happening. But no means guaranteed, but there's the potential is what I'm looking at. The S&P just doesn't want to kind of break up any higher than where it is at the minute. It doesn't want to. It's just kind of flicking around this level here, just grinding its way up, if anything, but doesn't want to make any sort of major movements for me up into this region. It's just kind of floating around with this resistance here, broken it slightly, if anything, but still not anything major to write home about. Starting to maybe get a turn on the gold. We want to see things come down a little bit. We want to see things come down to about 1868, and that'd be pretty nice. That would as a move, but things kind of moving as we are at the minute. We'll just wait and see. Seeing anything happen here? As I say, just S&P, just same actions really, grinding up a little bit higher. Gold definitely had a little chunk out of it there. You'll see it like these are healthy moves because then you're starting to break down structure here. This is the type of thing that we want to start seeing. There we go. We'll just take some small profits there. There's no need to get anything bigger out of it than that. It's just what we wanted. Just some little scalps on the start of the market. So it's a little bit of profit bank there. See what the S&P 500 is saying. Still not making its move up from there. Still not really kind of banking too much on this. A small amount, but we're looking 4 or 5 pips really. Nothing major. Gold continuing to go. Yeah, gold could well be coming down to that target of 1868. I mean, it's got the potential. There's nothing to say it won't. A big market top pattern like that can easily come through hugely and really drop down significantly, offering you 20, 30, 40 pips. No issue whatsoever, especially with the volatility that's clearly on offer. But there's just no need to push it really. There's always that, if you've got a decent profit in there, just secure it. There's nobody to tell you otherwise. So we've got a question coming in just now on gold. Do we reckon gold will go up from now? Well, as I say, it's difficult to predict entirely because, I do think that we've got obviously I'm basing this on our indicator. It's obviously for anybody that has been following us, it's a fantastic indicator. Gives you real sound market turning points. You can already see there in some of these cells, it's just kind of picking out the absolute bottoms of some of these markets, and offering some fantastic entries itself. But putting that aside, we're also looking into the fact here that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential bottom markers here. I think that we're definitely going to look at, and we've had a big sell-off. So if you look at kind of a Fibonacci, for example, is there room for the market to move up to somewhere around about 1900? I would say so. I'd say that would be, not, and if it did, that's not even asking the market to make a full reversal. That's just simply going to be a retracement, and then it can make its decision up from there. But that certainly offers a significant amount of profit from there on where we are. So I think there's definitely a potential to get to 1900, and that alone is a 300 pip move. So I think there's definitely that potential. As you can see here, it may take some time. It's not going to happen immediately, but you can see here, similar situation. Market's made a significant move upwards in this situation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 market top indicators on this one. And the market kind of moved around a little bit, formed that market top over time before seeing a significant reversal and sell-off, and that's what kind of fueled this move up to here. And are we going to see something similar occurring over the next few hours into tomorrow afternoon, into the US market open happening, kind of around about 2:30 tomorrow? So definitely possible. Whether or not it's going to happen, I think there's got a higher likelihood to move up than it is to go any further movement down here. But we also are in very uncertain economic times. You've seen pretty much all markets on the market open have moved significantly. You've got stock market moved fairly significantly. You've got markets such as pound has moved significantly since the market opened. Forex all over the place has moved significantly since the market opened. You just simply look at some of the dollar markets that have kind of moved. So, this is all since the market open, which is quite unusual, to see this level of volatility on a market open. It is unusual. So, you've got here from market open pound AUD. So you got all buyers coming in here. That's a lovely sell on pound USD. So it's a nice little entry that I could have pocketed a nice little scalp, but when you partner that up with the buys that happened immediately on the market open, some significant opportunity there. As I say, there's been this kind of news story over the weekend, which I'm not personally taking too much notice of it. It seems a bit of a nothing burger to me, where the US have shot down some spy balloon from China. I think markets are overreacting to that. Are we looking at a potential of a US-China rise in escalations? Looking into any sort of conflicts? Very unlikely as things currently stand. Both sides are going to be trying to avoid that at most costs. So, and I feel like that's what the markets are moving on, just simply on the market open, which seems like a big overreaction to me. So we'll see how things progress over the next few hours. But yeah, I think that's potentially what we're viewing here. So that's been a lovely sell-off. I could have held that for a significantly further time. And that's kind of fulfilled that initial target I thought there of 1868. But still, profit's profit. Have I booked profit a little bit too early there? Probably. Do I mind? Absolutely not. Because, booking profit's booking profit. That's what we're looking at in the S&P 500 now. I think I can book that profit. That's going to be a nice little move, and it already has done. Coming right into this zone that I've marked out there. So, both of those trades worked out profitably, and that's all that matters. Is there probably more profit on the table? Yes, but who cares when you've made profit? That's what I think. People get too hung up on trying to extend wins and try and eke out every last bit of juice out of a trade. It's all well and good if you can do it, but typically in my experience, by trying to get that extra 5 pips, 10 pips, you've probably actually at that point risking 15, 20 pips on the other side. So just, there's nothing wrong in securing profit. It's one of the biggest things that you see all of these Instagram traders and all of these gurus telling you. Try and, make sure that you're extending your wins, this, that, and the other. But you know what? If you're able to book wins, book them. Why not? Particularly when you get real accurate entries. If you're great at entries, why not just book them? Book your wins. Typically, traders are good at one of two things. They're either good at entries or they're good at exits. It's rare you'll see traders who are good at both, and that's absolutely fine. Just know what your strengths are, know what you can work with, and work with that. So if you're great at entries, brilliant. Nail your entries, and then book your profits early. And if it means that you're booking them a little bit early, then it's no concern really. Where are we on the Go back to candles so we can actually see what we're talking about. Some lovely move there. Just kind of what we were thinking there. That Fibonacci was just kind of screaming out, really, wasn't it? Look at that. Absolutely perfect on the nose. Bosh. And that's what I was on about. Perfect example this is. I already deleted that, but yeah, this is what I was looking at. Coming into this zone, I'd marked out that zone, and it's absolutely just tipped it on the nose and reversed back another 5-10 pips or whatever. So no, 5 pips. It's kind of moved from 41.30 back to 41.25, and yeah, probably took it somewhere around about here. That's fine, no problem. Could have got an extra 1 or 2, but I was risking 5-10 at that point. So book your profits, move on, guys. What else we got on offer then? So the markets have now had a little bit of time to adjust and digest their initial openings. So let's kind of see where things lay now and see if there's anything kind of jumping out at us. There's some opportunities. USD CAD had some lovely sells on the market open that we could have taken, but it's just risky on a market open when you're a few seconds into a market open. I much prefer just kind of waiting around, let it digest for 15-20 minutes, see where things lie. Yeah, that's a nice one. That would have been a nice one. That would have on the pound USD. Missed it. Don't try and chase your entries. No good trying to enter now when the entry should have been up there. It's just no good. It's tempting, but it's just simply never going to be a long-term strategy that wins in that one. Euro yen has certainly had a little bit of a spike there. How are things looking on the on that one, eh? Euro pound, not as volatile. Aussie USD, nothing. Some lovely sales on Aussie Swiss though. But again, really early in the market open, just kind of 10 minutes into that, and that's fine. There was trades there, there were market opportunities there, but you don't have to take every market opportunity that's on the table. You can just sit, wait, and watch. There's nothing wrong with watching what the market does and moving from there, really. Lovely buys on the US. So we've already banked that one. Bitcoin offering us anything? Not yet, is it? Tesla won't open until a little bit later. So guys, let us know who's online and who's watching along. If there's any markets that you want to take a look at, or any that you'll be trading for the week ahead, let us know. Also, of course, if you're not already, follow us along. There's all of the links to follow here on the stream. So feel free. All of your support is massively appreciated. It's what gives us the motivation to keep on doing this, and helping people. So feel free. It's looking like those gold sales are running nicely, really. All of those entries are in profit now. So that's what you love to see. Even though you'd have experienced a small amount of drawdown, with all of those entries running in profit now, you would have been sitting on a fantastic, lovely market open, and probably, you know, depending on how aggressive you were, depending on how aggressive your entries were into this, you could be looking at, you know, already seeing your trading day done before the day's even started. Imagine that. It just depends how aggressive you go into these moves. I personally much prefer to be really conservative. It's kind of no need to push it. But these sells are looking lovely on the gold, aren't they? Nothing doing. Oil would be a lovely, if we could have got an oil move in here, I'd have loved that, but it's not looking likely as it stands. Is there any opportunity to get into USD CAD as an alternative to oil? So there would have been up here. Not yet. That's something I always like to do. If I miss a move, like, so that's just a little to explain what I was looking at there, the thought process. Oil would have maybe offered me it's a trade that I'm looking at. The market, it would have been quite nice maybe if we'd have got some opportunities on this. But it isn't showing me, it isn't giving me anything. So I'm thinking instead of oil, go to a really correlated market, the related market for oil, USD CAD, and it may well have been some market opportunities here instead. And I would essentially be making the same sort of trade, but through a different market. You'd have got the same market moves, so it would have reacted in a similar way. So that's why I did that. But just if the market's not there, don't need to chase it. Euro USD. How are things looking here? If we can maybe look at what just for any buys coming into the euro. See, buys on Euro USD here could be quite interesting. Just because, look, you've got euro against the pound trending pretty nicely. You know, so looking like it's on an uptrend. Euro against the yen, definitely trending upwards. Euro against the dollar, trending down. So there's definitely some euro strength going on. But obviously at this moment in time, the dollar is a little bit stronger than all of that strength from the euro. So this is one to watch, because all it takes is for the dollar to start flattening off and the euro to continue if it's strengthening. And then you've got a great entry into Euro USD. So it's one to watch. When you can see a really strong currency against most, but not all of the pairs, then watch that for an opportunity is what I would say. You can see overall as well, when we look back here, the overall trend here has moved up higher on Euro USD. So there's an opportunity there. Hasn't marked it with a market bottom, but I definitely think, you know, from just watching that, just through experience and watching markets, trading markets for the years that I have, I think that you're looking at Euro USD, some strength there. Dollar's real moving up higher though. Can we do anything to pick any tops in the strength of the dollar? Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Finding a market top in the dollar would be a nice trade right now. I think that would be a fantastic opportunity. Oh, excuse me. Just as a heads up, I think I've just looked here on some news. We've got rumors in the yen from the Bank of Japan. Got the governor, Bank of Japan governor Kuroda, to appear in the parliament from in about an hour's time. So always potential market moves when a central banker is speaking. So watch that for sure. Oh, there's sells in gold, man. Ouch. I took those way too early. But it is what it is. We can move on. We can live with it. And the S&P 500 now moving significantly into those zones that we said. So all of these trades that we took were lovely trades. Required a little bit of patience. But those two that we took, lovely. Ooh, getting a move here in the Nikkei. Let's watch this then. Nikkei definitely is. Oh yeah, for sure. The Nikkei is going to be a nice little trade. Can we get any sort of reversal back down to this level? A nice little trade here on the Nikkei. It's a sell that we're looking at. When you look at most of the markets on stock markets have opened significantly lower. Okay, they've made a recovery since, but most of these equity markets overall, Japan has been the one that hasn't really responded any in a similar way. The rest of them have kind of all gone in the same direction. So can we see a move in kind from the Nikkei and start to sell off? Fantastic tops have been picked out on this market previously. Oh, this could be a brilliant trade. Here we're getting like kind of a trifecta of market top alerts. We've got a market top alert for 5 minutes, a couple 1 minutes, and on the 1 second. So we're getting a real nice selection here on this market. So certainly something to pay attention to. Be silly not to kind of look at this and it'd be silly not to trade this really. Especially when you look at like the market price action. So like that's a huge pin at the top of this pin bar. Wow. Hi, so yeah, we've had a comment come in, question mark for gold. Yeah, we took some nice sells on gold and secured profits much too early, really. We could have got at least double what we secured off these, but we took our sells somewhere up around in this region and took them profits probably somewhere around about here. So we could have got double, triple even of what if we'd have held on to those. But it's the way the market moves. So you know you win some of those, and you know as long as we've secured profits, that's what we're watching. But what we did say is that there's probably potential for gold over a long term, not immediately. As I say, it may take certainly a few hours, certainly potentially into tomorrow's trading. But I don't think coming up to 1900 is by any means, you know, unachievable. It would tie in quite nicely as that would be kind of a midpoint of the Fibonacci golden zone right there. So there's that as well, and we're also forming 5 or 6 bottom indicators right here. So all of that would tie in pretty nicely for me. I think for gold, that's where there's a higher probability that it touches 1900 from here than it touches, kind of going lower. It's certainly, more likely it touches 1900 than it does 1800. That's what I would say. It's not impossible to move in either direction, but that would be my likelihood for now of where things are going to move. Where are we at with this? It's not behaving immediately, which is always a shame, but what can you do? We're just watching and waiting. Euro USD, let's take a look at Euro USD. What's Euro USD been doing? So again, we're, late Friday trading, there were some bottom indicators coming in. That being said, right before a market closed for a weekend, didn't take advantage of them, didn't look to buy them, because anything can happen, as we've seen over a weekend, right? So when we look at, for myself, I would be looking at buys on Euro USD. Not to say that right now where the buys would be, but I think that we're in the zone for sure of buys. There's no reason to be selling from here, because look at the sell-off that we've already had, right? We've already been sitting and watching a huge sell-off throughout Friday of 150 pips essentially, right? So why after 150 pips would we start selling now? If we were looking to sell, we'd have done it 150 pips ago. So if we're trading Euro USD, we're looking at buys, and that's the bias that we've got. Now the question mark is just simply where can you find those? I don't think we're a million miles away from where they could be. So I'd be watching my indicator to see whether or not we can pick up some of these opportunities. As you can see here, been some superb buys here, and obviously this was getting a little bit close to the market close, but certainly throughout the trading day on Friday there were some lovely opportunities. Certainly not anything immediately, but straight away look at this on market open. This happened just on the market open, literally a few minutes after the market open, a few seconds after the market open, market bottom indicator Bosch. So that would have offered a lovely entry of where we are for today. Missed it, and also as well, right after a few minutes, few seconds after a market open. Not quite for me, but yeah, I think that we're looking at buys, not sells on Euro USD. That's the main thing to kind of pay attention to. And when we're looking to kind of targets for that, I would be looking at. So again, what can we get on here? Can we tie in a couple of different so here, look. These are all about looking at confluences. So now look, every time we've touched this bottom range here, all right, if I just draw that range of where we're at now, okay, so this is your range. Every time we've touched the bottom of this range, since we've broken through it on 12th of January, broken through that resistance, and then we've touched this bottom of the range, and there's been enough fuel in this, enough buyers to promote us all the way back up to 0.80 really, 0.8009. So there's been enough fuel to kind of fuel these buyers on 1, 2 to get to another occasion. Once we came back fairly near it again, blasted all the way through it this time. We're returning back to this zone again. So getting back up into here for Euro USD well within the equation. There's nothing unreasonable to suggest that if you were to be taking buys around here and looking to try and target this region, I think that's a sensible trade. There's certainly nothing kind of wrong against that. You've got that for two reasons. It's a retracement from the previous leg down onto a 78.61 Fibonacci. It's already a resistance zone, and you've shown that the market has got enough buys in this region to fuel a move up into that region. So yeah, that's great. It's then from the major sell-off that we've seen throughout, going back to Feb, 1st of Feb. So sell-off since then. It would then also be a 38th retracement on this Fibonacci. There's a lot going for this trade, so I think that there's definitely some reason why you could look at the (0880), give or take 20 pips for me. Oh, I think what's going on in my trade here. Small profit. Small profit running. Nothing major, but that's what it's all about on a market open evening. Can we secure some profits and just kind of get ourselves a little bit of a head start on the day tomorrow? For sure we can. Remember, sells for us on this one, we're taking up somewhere around about here. So we'll give or take about break even now, but fluctuating in between a small profit and a small loss over the first few minutes of this trade. The only thing that we really do need to start being conscious about is, as I said to you, there's a scheduled announcement, or not too sure exactly what it is that's going on, but the Bank of Japan governor is scheduled to talk in Parliament in about 50 minutes' time in Japan. So we just need to be careful of that. Just kind of watch that with where our trade is at the minute, and just see if there's a, just make sure that it doesn't kind of take control of the trade, as it were. But there's certainly been some interesting buying since then. It's just interesting when you see what's going on in equity markets, because when you're looking at your major US indices since the market opened down, significantly down. Nasdaq opened significantly down. All right, yeah, significantly down. The Nasdaq opened down. S&P significantly opened down. Not had the FTSE open yet, or the European market, but when we look at this, look at those. When we look at the Nikkei, that's actually moved upwards significantly since the market opened. So it's an anomaly that we're watching to see whether or not we can make anything of that. one we wanted. We haven't been able to kind of bag anything in our bearish dollar move. And it was at its highs. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? We've not been able to, so that's fine.
Take two. If you really want your heart, you think all they gonna do is break you. That ain't true. Look at this shit from a different angle.
Alright, so just watching this trade move fluctuate. Let's try and get a bit more news on this Bank of Japan thing. So, from what I can find out, it's looking like there's been some rumor on the next Bank of Japan governor. So the current one's about to resign, or his term comes to an end in April, and it's looking now like there's been potentially a favourite be come out of the ranks for the next Bank of Japan governor. The idea being is that this potential new governor would be a very similar governor to what they've already got, and that would so that's what that's looking like. That's the reason why we're seeing this move at the moment, because they're thinking the status quo is going to be resumed, and not any major changes in Bank of Japan policy. So that's the news that's moving the yen markets right now. We've just had a question come in about USD JP dollar yen longs. My opinion would be no. As I say, goes back to what we were saying on the euro, right? So if we were looking to get long on the USD yen, then we'd have done that 200 pips ago. Let's not get 350, 360 pips ago. Let's not try and get long up here. We should have been long down here. So let's not try and make the trade that we should have made, previously. So let's now be considering probably sells at this point. That's the most likely. You're much more likely to be getting a move down. What I try to view it as is, where's the next 100 pips? Is the next 100 pips another 100 pips higher? Or is it more likely by now to start seeing 100 pips lower before maybe 200-300 pips higher, if that's what did happen? But if that's the case, then we don't want to be buying at this point, do we? Right? So that's how I'd view it. I think we're probably much more in the territory of sells than we are buys. So that's my my estimation on this one. So we've had a breakout here of that trend. So I'd be looking at, before I look to buy, I'd probably be looking to try and buy once the price retested this trend. I'd be saying that, look, we're coming right back into this kind of territory right up here where the last time market traded up into this zone, significant sells were ready to get involved. So we're coming into resistance and not support. And we've already had a very large move. Considering moving into this with such velocity as well, then I think that we're coming into a territory. If you'd been buying 350, 360 pips ago, you'd be taking profits here. You wouldn't be looking to continue holding your buys to go further. So you've got a headwind to buys against that. So yeah, I don't think I'd be buying here. Personally, I wouldn't be. I'd be looking on the other side of the market. I'd be looking to try and pick some sells from here. Right, so we're getting we're back on the right side, back onto some profit. You know what? It's just simply, I probably should hold this trade. Should probably hold this, and it's probably going to make me look silly by not doing it, because it probably sell off significantly from here. But I'm going to close and just take a small profit on this one. The fact that we've got like central bank news that I'm not very confident on, I'm not entirely sure on what's happening over in Japan with this announcement in Parliament, potential like changes in central banks that can't really be forecast. So I'm going to probably just steer clear of that right now. I'm going to bank a small profit, which is always a good thing anyway. That's never a bad thing. So banking some profit and just kind of wait and see before I get involved in the markets again. I'm probably just going to wait and see if anything comes of this news in Japan. So I think probably for myself, it's time to kind of close the trading and kind of focus again tomorrow on what we can achieve. We've banked there 3 profitable trades. We've banked some money on gold, banked some money on the S&P 500, and we've banked a little bit on the Nikkei as well. So that's always a good thing. We've had a good profitable session, and we'll try again tomorrow and see what we can get into some more meaty trades tomorrow. But other than that, it's been great that you guys have come along and appreciate some questions, really good questions that have come in, and also as well your support, just following, watching. It's always great. So if you want to see some more of these, follow below, and all the links are there. So follow below, and we always update you next time we do these types of things. So thanks very much, guys. Enjoy your evenings, whatever time it is in your part of the world. All the best. Speak to you soon.